This month's Burleigh County Planning and Zoning meeting to order. We will start with a roll call. So Marla, if you could take us through that.
Commissioner Bittner. Commissioner Conley.
Here.
Commissioner Jarrett.
Here.
Commissioner Munson.
Here.
Commissioner Patrick.
Here.
Commissioner Rich.
Here.
Commissioner Streifel.
Here.
Commissioner Zuroff.
Here.
And Chairman.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Fantastic. We'll move into the approval of the November 12th, 2025 meeting minutes. Are there any corrections that are needed?
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
All right, it's been moved to approve as presented and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, minutes are approved. We'll move into the public comment portion of the meeting. So if there is anyone here that would like to give us some public comment, please step forward to the lectern and let us know what's on your mind. Anyone like to comment? Okay, seeing none, we'll close public comment. There's nothing on our consent agenda, but we do have 3 public hearings tonight. So our first public hearing that we will move into is for the Hughes subdivision. And this was continued, thank you. Continued from last meeting. And Mitch, is there anything you would like to add before we get into this public hearing?
Why, sure, Commissioners, Mr. Chair. Thank you for all showing up on a cold night. It's 11 degrees out there right now. So, this is a continuation of the November 10th meeting. I'll start with a legal description. Lot 2, Block 3 in Country View Estates, Auditors Lots N and O, all in Section 3 of the Township 138, Range 79. It's in Apple Creek Township. This is basically a very simple lot combination, 3 lots. They're trying to combine into a 13.10 acre sized lot. Paving waiver is not required because it's on a cul-de-sac. Apple Creek Township has recommended approval. We received an email from Dan Reese today, says I am in full support of the Hughes subdivision plat. So that's very important because they have zoning jurisdiction in that township. We have plating authority, but we depend heavily on their recommendations of whether to approve or not approve. Storm management plan was applied for, and I believe it was approved. 6 revisions have come to us on this plat to reach ordinance Article 33. What is that discussion here is whether or not basically we can pull an existing lot out of an existing subdivision and create a new subdivision of it. Century Code, in my opinion, says we can, as long as it's all owned by, privately owned, and all these lots are owned by the people who live there. And the owner, the applicant did ask for a petition from all the homeowners there, and I believe that might be in your packet. And I believe it's all the owners?
No, I couldn't get to every owner.
Okay, it's close. It's close. Yeah. So, yeah, I think there's 13 owners in there, but it's there's a majority of people who are okay with what the applicant wants to do. And so at issue is whether we can follow through on Century Code Title 40 on allowing this, which is, it happens all the time. If it's privately owned and it's, there was discussion of a master plan in the area from the people, from Mr. Mariner, who owns the property to the north. We have looked into that. We do have a copy of it. He did give a copy. But we're trying to find whether that was approved or not by a governing body, which would have probably either been Apple Creek Township or City of Bismarck. This original plat, Country View Estates, was approved by both the city and the county. And There was some discussions at that meeting, at that commission meeting, of who should be doing the approval of this. The recommendation of it was Apple Creek Township, who was not involved this time. So the only sticking point of discussion is whether or not we can recommend approving vacating the existing plat and creating this new one. We have not received an opinion from our state's attorney. So, I don't have any other thing to add. It's pretty much the same. You guys are familiar with it. It was in your packet last month, and you have it in the same thing this month. Would be my recommendation to table it for 1 month, and hopefully she'll have time. But that's only my you guys can decide what you want to do, so.
Okay, they are still actively working on it, though, on their request.
We have no response, so I'm open for any questions.
Haven't said no yet. Good.
All right.
Yes, commissioners are off.
Chairman, Mitch. So have Mariners changed their tune on this at all, or have you, I mean, because I don't see anybody from their group here tonight, so I'm assuming it's
Yeah,
kind
he's
of
behind the column there. Yep.
okay.
So, yeah, we haven't heard, we haven't heard anything back from them.
'Cause
They may say something tonight, I don't know.
The other thing for consideration looking at this, obviously the intent for Lakeview Drive, when, I'm assuming whether it's a year, 5 years, 20 years down the road, Mariners go to actually develop that, the Hugheses here will essentially own, a significant stretch of land along what would be, I'm assuming, proposed Lakeview Drive extension, looking at how their lot is shaped. And my understanding of that is they have the potential of coming to the Hugheses requesting half the cost of the construction of that length of road when that development goes in. So
That's accurate.
Right,
Mr.
okay.
Chair, he would have to sign a paving waiver on approval of this plat, which at the time of development of the road, the owner of whoever owns that property would be responsible for half of it,
right,
just on his frontage.
yeah,
So
okay,
he doesn't have to pave it now, but
but
someday it will happen.
someday. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Mitch. If there's no other questions for Mitch, we can move back into the public hearing. This is the public hearing on the Hughes subdivision. So if anyone would like to speak at this hearing, please approach the lectern, tell us who you are, where you're from, and sign in. If anyone would like to speak in this public hearing, this is the second call for public comment. And last call for any public comment, if anyone would like to speak in the hearing of the Hughes subdivision. Seeing none, I guess I know there was before we close this hearing, I know there was a suggestion to potentially continue this hearing until next month's meeting. So I don't necessarily want to close the hearing. So, yeah, any comment on that? Commissioner Conley?
Mitch, if we did, say, approve it or move it on to the county commission, would that allow enough time for the state's attorney to respond?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Conley, I can't tell you what she would do or not, what would happen in between now and then. I would recommend to wait until we receive that. And we may not receive an opinion. I mean, the Central Code, and that, as far as I'm concerned, in that there's many parts of it that are vague. But this, to me, is pretty simple. It's cut and dry. We do these all the time, and it's not uncommon to combine lots out of an existing subdivision. And-
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, it
Commissioner
kind of
Zoff,
goes
yeah.
along the same lines of, I mean, we could recommend approval contingent on, with a condition that, this, it gets cleared by the state's attorney prior to the county commission hearing it.
Yeah, because, I mean, these folks are coming to meeting after meeting.
Right,
And it takes one of those out of there.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, it doesn't have to necessarily be the state's attorney. It could be somebody we hire.
Yeah, because I mean, really, Mitch is right. This happens all the time with, existing plotted lots getting replatted into new subdivisions all the time.
All right, any other questions for Mitch before we close the public hearing, or, excuse me, before we either close or continue the public hearing? Commissioner Patrick, did you have something?
Well, I think, I agree. I think what we should do is we should approve it contingent upon a hearing from the state's attorney and forward it on to the county commission. So I'd like to make that motion.
So is there, we haven't closed the hearing yet, so you can't make a motion. Is there anyone that has any need to, feels any need to continue this hearing?
No.
Okay, seeing none, we will close the public hearing and move into discussion and action.
I made my motion, so.
second.
All right, it has been moved by Commissioner Patrick, seconded by Commissioner Rich, to approve this pending
What happens if we don't?
I guess, how would you word it?
Our next meeting.
Approval by the state's attorney.
Okay, pending the approval by the state's attorney,
Mr.
or
Chair,
opinion, excuse me, not
Mr. Chair.
approval.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I can't guarantee we're going to get an opinion from the state's attorney. I hope so. I hope that she can do it, but, she's very busy, and it's maybe just a legal opinion that's from a retained attorney from the city, from the Burleigh County. Not necessarily has to be the state's attorney, just a legal opinion.
would you like to change your motion to not necessarily call it state's attorney?
We may not receive that, is what I'm saying.
So are you saying that if we were to do that, take that portion off, the county commission then could go ahead and approve or not approve without the state's attorneys?
Mr. Chair, no, my recommendation to your motion is to have a legal opinion that, to Burleigh County Commission on whether or not this would be appropriate to
All
approve
right,
this.
then I'll change my motion to state that the county commission receive a
Legal opinion.
legal opinion.
Okay, and you are fine with that as a seconder?
I guess so. I just soon just approve it as it is and move it to the city commission. I don't know about the legal opinion, just blow it off. We haven't had it.
Well, it's
So-
there's precedent.
So we've got a motion with a pending a legal opinion. Are you okay with seconding that?
No.
Okay. Is there anyone would like to second the motion that is moving for approval with a legal opinion or pending a legal opinion to the county commission?
I'll just remove, we will only remove the legal opinion, just approve.
Sure. Right.
And forward to the county commission.
I'll second that.
Okay, so your motion is move to approve, recommendation to approve at the county commission, correct?
Second.
Right, I just want to make sure that we're clear. And there is a second, so it is, has been moved for recommendation for approval to the county commission by Commissioner Patrick, seconded by Commissioner Rich. Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, we'll move into a roll call vote. So Marla, if you could take us through that.
Okay, a yes vote means that you approve the motion. Commissioner Conley,
Yes.
Commissioner Zuroff,
Yes.
Commissioner Streifel,
Yes.
Commissioner Jarrett,
Yes.
Commissioner Munson,
Yes.
Commissioner Patrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Rich,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes.
8 approved.
Okay, that the Hughes subdivision will move to the Burleigh County Commission with a due pass recommendation. We'll move into our next public hearing for the evening, and that is the public hearing on the Kuntz subdivision. And it looks like Marla will be able to take us through a few details on that before we open up the public hearing.
Okay. This is the Kuntz subdivision. They were requesting approval of the final plat and a due pass recommendation. The location is 1951 149th Avenue West, Northwest. It's described as Burnt Creek Township, Section 7, Lot A of the northeast corner, beginning at the northwest corner through east 1,320 feet, south 1,320 feet, west 1,320 feet, and north to the point of the beginning. It's 40 acres. There was notifications were sent to the Bismarck Tribune, November 29th and December 6th. Burleigh County website, November 29th, and surrounding property owners, November 26th. This was the subdivision. Albert and Linda Kuntz approached us to put an accessory dwelling unit on their 40-acre lot. And there are already two main buildings on the property, manufactured home and 11,000 square foot accessory building built in 2008. The maximum allowed square footage of the ADU is limited to 1,500 square feet. When they turned in their plans for the proposed building, the accessory dwelling unit, it was 2,580 square feet, which was too big. So we advised them to go ahead, cancel the special use permit, and apply for subdivision plat. So they decided to divide it into a two-lot subdivision, one containing just over 10 acres, and the other is the remaining, I think it's like 29 acres. So the applicant has fulfilled all the requirements for Article 33 subdivision regulations. The applicant has fulfilled the requirements of Article 11 agricultural zoning, which it is platted now, or which it is now. The stormwater management plan waiver has been approved, and the subdivision has been reviewed by all reviewing entities, and the minor changes and corrections have been made and submitted. The subdivision meets all the requirements of the Burleigh County Comprehensive Plan, Article 3 Residential Neighborhoods Objectives 1 and 2. And they're requesting final plat approval and a due pass recommendation, and staff recommends the due pass recommendation and final approval.
Any questions for Marla before she steps away and we open the public hearing? Seeing none, thank you, Marla.
Okay.
We will now open the public hearing on the Kuntz subdivision, and this is for the special use permit and final plat. Marla, is this?
Yep, it's a
It's-
final plat and a due pass recommendation.
And not special use?
Nope, special news. We canceled that
Okay.
in October.
Gotcha. This is just for the final plat. Just want
Just
to be
for the
clear.
final plat, it's what we recommended after we saw the size of the accessory dwelling unit. It'd basically be two full-time residences on one lot, so,
Okay.
or parcel.
Thank you for the clarification. Okay, we will open the public hearing. If anyone would like to speak at this public hearing concerning the Kuntz subdivision, please approach the lectern, tell us who you are, where you're from, and sign in. Anyone like to speak at this public hearing regarding the Kuntz subdivision? And the final call for anyone that would like to speak at the this public hearing about the Kuntz subdivision. Seeing none, does anyone have any reason that we need to continue this public hearing? Okay, we will close the public hearing and move into discussion and action on this public hearing.
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Conley has moved approval or approval to the County Commission for the Kuntz subdivision. It was seconded by Commissioner Zuroff. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, we'll move into a roll call vote. So Marla, if you could take us through that.
Okay, Commissioner Zuroff,
Yes.
Commissioner Streifel,
Yes.
Commissioner Rich,
Yes.
Commissioner Conley,
Yes.
Commissioner Jarrett,
Yes.
Commissioner Munson,
Yes.
Commissioner Patrick,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes.
8.
Okay, the Kuntz subdivision is passed with a recommendation for approval to the County Commission. Moving to our last public hearing for the evening, the Spring Cooley subdivision short plat. And Marla will take us through some details on that, and then we can open the public hearing.
Okay. This is a Spring Cooley subdivision replat. And they are requesting final approval of the plat and a due pass recommendation. The engineer is Swenson Hagen and Company, and the location is 15612 41st Street Northwest, and it's described as Block 1 and 2 of Spring Cooley subdivision. Block 1, lots 1 and 2. The parcel size is 15 acres, and it's zoned rural residential. Notifications were sent to the Bismarck Tribune November 29th, December 6th. County website was November 29th, and surrounding properties, November 26th. The history is the petitioner applied for a building permit to construct a 2,600 square foot building to be used for storage and a workplace. The lot was described as Lot 2, Block 1 of Spring Cooley subdivision is where he intends it. Because it is a separate lot, it doesn't contain a principal residential structure. So though he owns the adjoining lot, we advised him to combine the two lots into a one-lot subdivision. The Spring Cooley subdivision was platted and recorded in October of 2017. And the zoning change was also recorded in 2017. The application has fulfilled all the requirements of Article 33 subdivision regulations. The applicant has fulfilled the requirements for Article 12 rural single-family residential. A stormwater management plan was not required. A paving waiver is not required. And the subdivision has been reviewed by all reviewing entities. And the minor correction, which was to change it from Spring Cooley second subdivision to Spring Cooley replat, has been corrected. And it meets all the requirements of the Burleigh County Comprehensive Plan, Article 3 Residential Neighborhoods, Objectives 1 and 2. Staff recommends approval of the final plat and a due pass recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners.
Okay, any questions for Marla? Seeing none, thank you, Marla. We will open the public hearing for the Spring Cooley subdivision short plat. If anyone would like to speak at this public hearing, please approach the lectern, let us know who you are, where you're from, and sign in. Anyone like to speak in this public hearing? And last call for the public hearing regarding the Spring Cooley subdivision short plat. Seeing none, any reason we need to continue this? Okay, we will close the public hearing, move into discussion and action.
Move to
Yes,
approve.
Commissioner
I'll
Rich.
move we approve the replat and give a due pass recommendation to the Board of Burleigh County Commissioners.
Okay, it has been moved by Commissioner Rich to approve, move for approval and move this to a due pass recommendation to the Commissioner, the County Commission, and it was seconded by Commissioner Patrick. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, we'll move into a roll call vote. So Marla, please take us through that.
Commissioner Munson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jarrett,
Yes.
Commissioner Conley,
Yes.
Commissioner Patrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Rich,
Yes.
Commissioner Streifel,
Yes.
Commissioner Zuroff,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes.
All approved.
Okay, that has passed, and we'll move to the County Commission for approval. In other business, we have an amendment to talk about, the amendment to Article 21 floodplain district regulations. And Mitch, you can take us through some of the details of why we need to consider this.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, this is kind of a mandate from the state of North Dakota that we include this on our ordinance. Basically, it's the preamble of this ordinance. They came up with this as part of that SB 2027, the Senate bill asking townships to either do their own floodplain ordinance management or delegate to Bismarck County. It's just basically that underlined section at the very beginning. Anything else was this one page is not changing anything in Article 21. We may be, it depends on the township what they plan to do, but we may be doing their floodplain management for most of the townships in the county.
Just a question, when it says floodplain, where does that map, or what calls out, or what makes a floodplain district? Where does that map come from?
I think the reference to floodplain district is in the ordinance, Article 21. Okay.
Yeah, Casey, if you could maybe enlighten us on where that comes from.
So the fund process of the floodplain, we do it about every 10 years. It's through FEMA. It generally starts about 2 years in advance of that. And we actually model the Missouri River, Apple Creek, all these different areas we look at. And we discuss many areas such as Burnt Creek and Hay Creek. We extended some of the limits going north up by 26. And we look at how the floodplain and floodway are affected. Once all those models are done, we have a lot of public hearings. People have their right to give input and be able to go through. FEMA then goes through and checks everything. It also goes back for public input. At that point, it's more, this is what the floodplain is going to be. If you disagree with it, resident can hire an engineer to say, this is why I should be out, and give different reasons through there. And there's some valid reasons that do happen on that. But once that's approved, then that floodplain's enacted, then Mitch gets the fun job of enforcing it every day.
Okay, so the map, if say the townships are looking for, what's a floodplain in our township, they just come to the county, or come to you, or Mitch, or?
When it comes to that FEMA part, I can send a message out to the townships if they want that. Generally, we look at areas that are being developed more, because you do fall into a whole lot of rules really quick when it's an identified floodplain and floodway versus, they call it Zone X on the maps of, it's just unknown at that time. So you can get a lot of restrictions put on you really fast. So we've tried to be really careful at which areas we actually look at. Doing that is more when we know houses are going to be there versus fields and farm, ranch land.
Yeah, so there's not necessarily a county-wide map that is set saying this is floodplain and this is not.
No,
or is there? Okay.
It is. It's how intensive do we want to look at it versus on there, because once floodplain's there, it's not going away. So that we try to be judicious when we look at it.
Okay, thank you.
We have a meeting next week at the library. All you township people can show up. And it's basically about probably 60% of 70% of Burleigh County has been mapped. We don't. All the other unpopulated areas has not been mapped, but we do rely on NDRAM for that portion of this, that they have identified wetlands and riverines and that sort of thing, and that's kind of the precursor. But it's basically identifying these areas. The ideas on the NDRAM is it gives you an idea. Yeah, this is identified as a floodplain or a wetland, and subject to flooding, and most likely it will be mapped as a flooded area on the FEMA maps. We don't know that because we're not FEMA, but it does help in making decisions when you issue building permits out there. The townships are not doing any favors to these people that issue a building permit in a floodplain or known flooded areas that are apt to this, because it's once they build their house in there, they will pay insurance, high rates. If it's in a floodway, they can't do any work to it. It's kind of not condemning, I don't want to say that, but it is, you're not doing any favors by issuing a permit, letting them build in those areas.
When you say NDRAM, what's
North Dakota, it's a map that they have that they created. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but if you Google NDRAM, you
It'll-
can get to the state and you can see it, and it does show, it has a interactive map that you can move and locate where you live or where you want to look at it to identify it as one of these areas.
Gotcha. I'm just curious on where these, because obviously at the township level, they don't have the staff that is going to be going researching this and stuff like that. So I'm just asking the questions to make sure that there's easy access to
Indeed.
things to make decisions.
DWR, North Dakota Department of Water Resources, on their website. And it's, so,
There's some parts with the wetlands on that, that's just what they identify by what they call an office review. They're just looking the top down. It's not an on the ground. They've actually looked at it and identified, because water is a bad indicator of a wetland. It's actually, it takes three components. It's soils, the right type of, it's not grasses, but plant material and renewable water source. So that, like when we get into projects, we actually hire a wetland delineator to go out there and get the actual limits, because sometimes what you see on those maps that says, oh, it's all this over here, and it's not, and then we find out, hey, we have all new ones. So when we do project into those, you get more in depth into those, so it's gives you a good idea on those things.
Well, good to know. Good to know.
Casey.
Okay, is there, yes, yeah.
A lot of
Commissioner
this
Conley.
there was a lot of review when it came to the FEMA flood maps that were adopted, revised because of technology increases, and that formally was passed, or we had to accept it June 6th of last year, correct?
Yes, that's correct. That was the last one. That's where we resolved the Apple Creek and Missouri River models, because Apple Creek model and Missouri River, at one point, they said the water was 7 foot higher in Apple Creek than Missouri River, and we all know that's not true. So it was getting all that resolved out.
Well, it's a big deal at the city because there's a huge project impending, and it's hundreds of millions of dollars. So.
Yeah, I know when we're reviewing it, we're like, this is going to be an interesting one moving forward. It's going to cost a lot. And part of the floodway had a breakout area in Apple Creek that, instead of on Apple Creek, it all of a sudden was going through where existing houses were at, and where this is going to get a lot of feedback.
And in Bismarck itself, a lot of the affected areas are people with lower incomes that can't really afford tacking on a flood insurance bill. So,
yeah, and that's a lot of what we looked at, and we knew going forward that was going to be discussed a lot at both county and city commissions on there.
yeah, appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, any further questions for Mitch at all?
Move to approve the ordinance.
well, it'll be back. We have to read
Okay.
this, we have to get this read.
Yep, so this
Yeah,
is the
public
first reading,
hearing.
and then it'll be back the next month.
In
for-
January.
For
Yeah.
action? Okay,
Yeah, there's no action needed tonight.
okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you much.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a
Yeah, go ahead.
question, simple. This is just a procedure, right? We don't have any options.
No, this is kind of like an order from the,
We don't really have any input, really.
no, they want these ordinances to be based on their model ordinance, what they have at the DWR. And ours is close, but it's, if it didn't have this in it, you got to put it in.
Gotcha. Thank you. Okay, so that will be coming up at the next meeting. We do have another piece of other business here, talking about the calendar, the 2026 Planning and Zoning Commission calendar. And I believe that's been in your packets. Is there any issues with that calendar?
I put the new calendar with the county commission dates on it in your folders for today. And there is something on November. Our meeting is scheduled for Veterans Day. So I am working right now on getting it scheduled with the city of Bismarck, because it's their room. And we're gonna possibly be able to have it on the 12th, on the Thursday after. But it might have to start like 5:30. They have something in this room. So I'll let you know more on that, but just kind of give you a heads up. So, and that's all I have to say. All you have to do is say it's okay.
Move to approve as presented.
Okay, fantastic. It has been moved for approval and seconded to approve the 2026 calendar that has been given to us. Just a note that that did call out that move in November to the Thursday date. Everyone in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Hearing none, is there any other business?
I just want to say we're heading into the holiday season, and I want to wish everybody the best. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy your families, and it's a time for rejoicing.
Thank you. You too.
Absolutely. Is there a motion to adjourn? All right, it's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? We are adjourned. Everyone drive safe.